welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today is Saint Nicholas Day, and yes, I am Saint Nicholas. Yes, but as you can see, Horst is not here, but I think he got his phone with himself, or maybe his laptop, I'm not quite sure, but he is away, and he is actually inside the jet, hopefully still there. And yeah, just write something, Horst, so some greeting that you are in the chat, or maybe he has already left, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, we have people from Istanbul, Turkey, and here in Montreal it's 2 p.m. Yeah, for us it's 8 p.m. in the evening. And greetings from Munich, from Netherlands, and Munich again. And hello, are you the bad Santa? No, I'm the good Santa. Yeah, and yeah, today is an AMA live stream, so you can ask anything. Yes, I am good Santa. So just write anything inside the chat if you like to know anything. But I also have some questions for you. My first question is, what do you think about my costume? Do you like here the traditional costume that we wear in Europe and stuff, or do you like the Coca-Cola man that is like this year, like the like just has the red coat and it's just normal red, or do you like the real bishop of what was that? Yeah, let me give a bit of a background about Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas is actually a bishop from kind of the Eastern Roman Empire. It was Nicholas of Myra, and he's one of the most famous holy people of the Catholic Church. And yeah, he actually had he was of Greek descent and was in the first half of the 4th century after Domino, so after after zero. And he was part of the Roman Empire, later the Byzantine Empire, and today Turkey. So yeah, this is where they come from. And I'm not quite sure, how do you have the tradition of Saint Nicholas around your hometown? Because here in Germany we actually do have different traditions. So they did something with everything. In northern Germany they have Knecht Ruprecht, which is kind of like Santa's little helper. And in southern Germany we have Krampus. I don't know if anybody has played Don't Starve. It's kind of a demon, but he is with Saint Nicholas, and he is kind of he is the bad one in the team. They're going like bad cop, good cop. So he's punishing the evil kids or the naughty kids, and Saint Nicholas is bringing presents for the good kids. What I have inside the glass is this here. This is actually gin, or it's a gin mixture. It's from 5 senses, 5 sinne, glühgin and berry. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you know Glühwein, which is like spiced wine, which you do during like pre-Christmas season. I'd rather have but I prefer rather the Pepsi Xmas Girl. I've actually never seen that. We prefer the traditional costume. Mm-hmm. Our Finnish Santa looks different. He probably looks a bit Finnish. This stuff is heavy. I don't know if you have your spiced wine in the pre-Christmas season, which is usually very winey, like wine with spices, and the spices make it a bit more interesting with cloves and stuff. This here is, you realize definitely it's a gin. It has a lot of juniper in it, and combined a lot of sweetness in it. So it really feels a little bit like a wine, but with a lot of herbs. They are much fresher than the herbs, from your spiced wine. Oh yeah, I like it that it's warm. It gives you a lot a lot of feeling for the flavor. I'd really like to know how whiskey is if you make it warm. Does every village have its own tradition? I think there are a lot of different traditions, but they are very similar. For our town, our tradition is like having a live, I don't know how you call it, crib, like a live farmhouse that with a little bit of a reenactment of the birth of Christ. So you have a little hut with straw in it, and then they don't put a live baby in there. They always have a plastic baby, a doll in there, but they have two like children, like 6, 7, 8, I don't know how old, and they're sitting there like as Mary and Joseph, and then they have the little baby in the crypt. And usually they do have a donkey and stuff as well, and yeah. Yeah, so this is like the tradition in our town. So everybody has a little bit of a different tradition. So yeah, let's close the question. I think there are 18 people. We have a little bit of a statistics going on. In Argentina, we would die if we dress like this. It's too hot. Yeah, I guess so. You'd have to have one of. How do you do? Isn't Argentina like ex-Spanish? Don't they have a lot of like Christians over there? How do the priests look like? Don't they look like this, or do they have like mini skirts? Or I don't know. I've never been to South America, so I really don't have a clue about this. Hello from Wales. Hey, hello. Where can we buy this cup? I've actually bought this cup online, one of these design your own cups, and I've done this for every employee in our company that has stayed, I think, more than 1 year or 3 years. No, 1 year was a pen, 3 years that mug, and everybody gets their own special mug. So I wasn't older than 3 years in the company, so got my own as well. It doesn't feel like Glühwein mit Schuss. Glühwein mit Schuss is like spiced wine where you add a little booze in it. And this is a bit rounder. It feels like normal wine, but a lot more herbs in it. Okay, which costume is better? 60% St. Nicholas, 40% Coca-Cola Man. It's nearly the same as we had in Germany. In Germany we had 66 to 33, so a little bit more for St. Nicholas. But internationally, the St. Nicholas comes on good as well. And yes, after a bit of time now, maybe also it's the lights, but I'm getting really hot in here as well. Looks like a pooped cardinal. Yeah, isn't a bishop? No, a bishop is lower than a cardinal, isn't it? Not quite sure. Really not that into the Christian church. But I think it's like priest, bishop, archbishop, cardinal, pope. Maybe there's an archcardinal. Not quite sure. Similar to the pope. Holy water on the cask. Yeah. In Spain we have 3 magician kings. Oh yeah, there's Horst. Horst was a bit late to the party, but he's there. So if you have a question for Horst, you can also write it in the comments. Sometimes he will answer. Yeah. Have you ever tried whiskeys that sell in Latin America, like Buchanas, Old Par, etc.? I have never heard of these 2 brands. Actually, seriously, I've never heard of these 2 brands. But we just got into rum with our Whisky.de company, so I'm maybe getting a bit more into Latin America. Probably more of the north coast, as this is more prone to the rum. Greetings from Costa Rica. Hello, Horst. The whiskey is not going to help with the heat. No, it's not. The next whiskey I have in my glass, I've already poured it in the German take, is the one here in the sweater. And yeah, let me show you the sweater. The sweater is cool. I found that on the internet as well. And it's the Jura Winter Edition. Yes, maybe. Close up. Oh yeah. Oh. Jura Winter Edition. It's a sherry cask. It's a Jura sherry cask with yeah, a lot of sherry. So first ex-bourbon casks and then finish in sherry cask, and it's around $30, dollars, pounds, whatever. Oh, and it's a lovely sherry cask whiskey. Has nice sherry influence, although it's a bit fresher than one of these pure sherry bombs. So yeah, it's a sherry finished whiskey. Oh, I like it. It's nice. It's sweet, sweeter than I had it before. So when you let it air a little bit, it becomes sweeter. So a little bit of a, also creamier. Now it has a bit of a banana touch to it. Before it had a bit of an acidic touch to it. It felt like a little bit like a wine finish even, with a lot of berries, some dried fruits, more dried fruits, sultanins, raisins, all that kind of good stuff. I like it. Okay. Finally, I could catch a live unexpected. Yeah. If you'd like to know when the next live tasting is, so it's not quite unexpected, go to Whisky.com/live. There we will always find the next one that is teased when we will have that next live tasting. Just to do a little bit of a teaser, it's on the 26th of December at 1900 Central European Standard Time, winter time. Yeah, it's always on. So our thing is like on the 24th you have like kids and presents. 25th, some countries have kids and presents there, and then 25th is like eating with family and stuff, and 26th is sometimes still eating with family, but in the evening you pretty much arrive at home, and then you're like, oh, okay, what should I do? I'm really exhausted from the holidays, so sit back, relax, enjoy a live tasting, have a great whiskey. That's always a good idea for the evening. Unfortunately, it's not evening everywhere at the same time. Why there is no tasting kit available for today's tasting? Because it's kind of in between tasting. Horst is not here, so we couldn't like really plan a proper tasting. So it's an AMA tasting. You have our special December. How do you call it? Sonderangebot. It's like special sales for December, and these are the special sales. So we decided to, I'll try these because most of the people tend to buy them. Hi Ben, there is an Oloroso sherry whiskey from St. Paul. I think you are missing it in the tastings. Oh, okay. Okay. Not quite sure. Maybe that came out after I tried the Paul John whiskies. Maybe I need to update a little bit here. I'll have a look. I'll have a look if I find them coming up in our new bottles, and yeah. Maybe I'll do it. No Horst, no set. Yeah, I'm sorry. Next time he will be there again. Horst is an engineer, so he has a wrench in his avatar. I think the wrench is that he is actually responsible for the channel. To the production team, can you post the first question with the news into the chat? Because I have a question for you, a little bit of a feedback for the channel. It's about the news from that I do, the Whisky.com news that I do pretty much every Monday, except today because of the live tasting. It's going to be tomorrow, the news, and it's about what kind of news do you actually enjoy in the Whisky.com news? What kind of news do you tend to, oh, I want to skip that, or which ones are you really really into? So are you more into the, what do you call it, the new distilleries, new bottlings, kind of the personal changes where staff is moving around from distilleries, or kind of what kind of news of whiskey news is most relevant to you. Bring back Horst. Yeah, next time he will be there. If he could have made it, if he wasn't away, we would have done a proper tasting with Horst together. Is the Glenfarclas 15 intense in taste? Yeah, let's find out. What I really love about Glenfarclas, it's really a proper sherry whiskey. The other one was a sherry finished whiskey, where you had a little bit of a freshness in there. This one has so many berries and cherries and stuff in there. This is getting too hot. Get berries and cherries in there. It's lovely. I think I've had enough Glenfarclas now that I could smell it out in a blind tasting. If they keep the recipe the same. Maybe the special bottlings that'd be too difficult, but the standard ones, yeah. News must be new whiskies. Also, you mean new whiskey bottles, huh? Is there no beginners and experts tasting this Christmas? It was becoming a nice tradition just for us to join the beginners and expert tasting on Christmas with both of you and the community. Yes, good thing. I think I'll react to it after the 15. After I've done a proper taste assessment. I do know the Glenfarclas 15. It's nice. It has definitely more kick to it. 46% ABV, but such an elegant Oloroso cask, sherry cask. It has so much fruitiness in there. It's just blooming with fruitiness and crazy. Oh, I like it. And such a warm feeling around your mouth with such intensity. So back to the beginners and expert tasting. Question from Purple Elephant. And yes, we have no beginners and experts tasting this year, because we kind of didn't get the whiskies. It's really hard for us to choose which whiskey is which, because we want to have them bottled, and there's always a lot of discussion going on. So this time we actually did the thing we did, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and said, okay, let's do a distillery tasting. Let's do a easy distillery tasting. So it kind of tends to replace the beginners one. Yeah, nice tradition, but not this year. But we bring it back next year probably. But yeah. Tasting is hard to follow your speed. Oh, sorry. Hard to follow my speed. Yeah, it's not really, I'm not really doing a tasting. Today is more of a question and answering. What do you think about the new price politics from distilleries? We step in new era. Our RRPs are up to plus 30% now. Now, how will it affect us collectors? This is a deep dive question. Inflation was kind of the main topic in mainstream news, except for the war, was the topic this year. And the price rises are phenomenal, or horrible, let's say that way around. We're really not fond of all these price hikes, because it's just too much. People are really thinking about if they want to get out of the hobby, or if they at least turn it down, the hobby. And I don't think it is stable. I think maybe it flattens out and stays there until it becomes normal again with all the other inflation, or it must be a bit of a correction in there because the price hikes a bit too high. But that's my opinion. If it happens, I don't know. It's just unforeseen. Still, if you look at, it's always supply and demand. Whiskey market is supply and demand, although we are not like the perfect market because the barriers to entry are very high. If you want to sell a 15-year-old, 16-year-old whiskey lot, 15-year-old like this, you have to invest 15 years ago. So this is a really high barrier to entry. So the market is a bit more of a protected market, although you have a lot of players, so there is good competition, but the competition that's coming in is not really threatening. Although there are more distilleries coming up and bringing up younger whiskey. So the younger whiskey market is, I don't think they are rising as steeply as the older ones because they can just do it. They don't have the competition in there. Still, from the production side, the investment into whiskey distilleries, new production has risen quite a lot. So if the demand doesn't rise as steeply as it did in the past, we will have to have a correction in the market. Yeah. Nice. How many bottles can we have opened at the same time without starting to decrease aroma and properties? There's a video and a good article on Whisky.com how to store whiskey, or how to, I'm not quite sure how we named the title up, but how do you store whiskey? If it's closed, easy, just leave it in the cupboard and away from UV light, and it holds indefinitely. But if you have opened it, you can still do parafilm around it. You can refill it into smaller containers, and then they also kind of hold indefinitely if you don't have that much oxidization going on. If you have oxidization going on, your whiskey will change in flavor. And the question, unfortunately, is incomplete because it depends on how much whiskey you consume. If you consume a lot of whiskey, if you just invite a lot of friends and you empty one bottle a week, you can have a lot of bottles open at the same time because you just tend to open them, empty them very quickly. So the question is really more going more direction, when is a whiskey going off? I think Horst had that in the video very precisely, and I don't want to do anything faulty and just shooting from the hip here. So watch the video from Horst. It's really amazing. Lagavulin 16-year-old is my favorite. It's becoming one very difficult to find. When you do so, it's increased from 50 pounds to 75 pounds. Is it possible for an expression to almost disappear? Yes. We also ran out of stock of 16-year-old Lagavulin a few years ago quite regularly. And I can still remember when it was below 50 pounds, euros, and nearly the same now. And now it's around 75, but more even sometimes. So the problem is, how much did they produce 16 years ago? I don't know. Lagavulin is only a 2-still distillery, so I think for Lagavulin we haven't seen the end of it, as in price. For other distilleries who have more stills in there and have trouble selling their stuff on the blended market, we will see price decreases. But I don't think we'll see a price decrease for Lagavulin because they're too small. Stills too small. Distilleries too small. They don't have the output. Best Christmas bottle question. Beaumont Arc. Is the video already out? I think so. Beaumont Arc was incredible. Lagavulin costs 65 pounds at the moment. I think you should go and buy. Martin Vincent. Where are you from, Martin Vincent? Netherlands. Really? 65 euros. So, to the production team, do we still have a question, or do we? Is the question not relevant for the Whisky.com side? I always thought that the Netherlands was expensive due to an extra taxes, but it seems prices in other countries are even worse. I have to say, I'm not quite sure, but if you look at stuff inside the Netherlands, I always feel that it's a bit more cheap than in other European countries. And I'm not quite sure why. My theory is that Netherlands is the trading hub. You have Amsterdam, you have Rotterdam, and I think you have another big one, another big port. And there's so much stuff coming on over Amsterdam, and they used to be a trading nation. They are still a really big trading nation, and they just have lower logistic costs because everything is just entered their port there, and you don't have to, truck it somewhere else. Okay, but I have a question for you out there. Which new format would you like to see on our YouTube channel? So this is what is a format? Format is tasting Ben, tasting horse, tasting two of them, like both of us. Distillery video, Whisky.com news, what kind of live tasting? Whiskey Vision TV, that's not a regular format, but still format. So which format would you like? Do you have an idea of like something? Oh, now it shoots out questions. Yeah, Klein found I'm missing in the Spain retailers. Yeah, I just turned in. This format is perfect. Like, I like closer to the viewers. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's like really shooting back and forth with you. I like it. What will you do once the channel has 100,000 subscribers? That is still up for question. You can answer the questions. What would you like to see? I think for our thousands video, I think Horst opened a €1,000 bottle. I think it was a Black Bowmore, 40 years old. Yeah. We need guest stars. Don't have famous and interesting, funny whiskey lovers. Who would you like as guest stars? I did have some interviews with some whiskey people. We really don't have the connections to anything like. I think there are like, what was it, Offerman, and I think there were more celebrities going on, or what was that, MMA fighter. We don't have the connections to these people. Sorry, I didn't even get to Richard Patterson yet. I spoke to him when I was like 15 or something. He was a great guy, but he wasn't like a celebrity back in the day, and now he's like really celebrity. New region tastings as suggested before. Regions tasting, I think we have done some regions tastings in like Scotland. I think we had Highlands, Lowlands, and did we do Islands? Isla? I think we did. But yeah, we could like do other regions. The thing is, usually when we do a tasting, it works with Scotch. If we do, I had a Canadian whiskey tasting, it didn't really work well. We had bourbon tastings, didn't work that well. Bourbon tasting was kind of okay, but yeah, usually we're just the Scotch channel. That's the thing. If only Black Bowmer was still £1,000. Yeah, I think they really quite rose a lot. I would like to see some tequilas. Unfortunately, you will not be able to see tequilas anytime soon. I've started with gin, so you could answer what do you think about that? And we might get into rum. The thing with distillery videos, there are distillery videos coming out every other week now, and some minor news, or like news knowledge videos from the distillery, like the other week then. But unfortunately, I think I'm running out of distillery videos because I've visited pretty much every distillery in Scotland. I'm pretty much done. So what should I do next? Should I go for gin distilleries, or should I go rum then? That would be cool because I'd like to go to the Bahamas or something like that. Yeah. Ron Swanson as a quest. We can ask him, but he will probably just say, yeah, in 10 years' time. And then you will never see. Yeah. No gin nor rum. Please focus on whiskey. Whiskey will still maybe our main thing. Does anybody like to pair with cigars? We're really not into smoking. That's the thing. Horst is kind of a militant non-smoker. I'm just really not that into it. So sorry, we're just not into smoking. What about more bourbons? The ones that Alcade especially like Willis BTAC. Well, I'm not quite sure if I know Willis, but BTAC. Sorry, that's a problem with bourbon. There are so many bourbons that are just US only. That's the problem. If you have something in the US market, if you are producing in the US market, you really don't think that much of going abroad. If you're not that big, US is usually enough for your market, so we don't get that much of the special bourbons over here. They are coming, as the retaliatory tax has just been cancelled. So now we have more access to smaller ones because of these taxes missing. Enjoying whiskeys at unusual places. This could be like there was a trend, I don't know when that was, of what was it, extreme ironing. I really wanted to do that trend, but I was just not that, didn't have the time to do it. Extreme ironing was like the predecessor to planking. Planking was that one where you lay flat in very unusual places, and extreme ironing was you had an iron, and you had the ironing board, and you were ironing your clothes in like extreme places, like underwater and up on a mountaintop or in a creek, like where your ironing board was like that. And what was the question? Enjoying whiskey in unusual places. Yeah, we need a nice one word for that, like planking, owling, or extreme ironing. I would need a like 1 or 2 word for that. If you could get that, I will try to get that trend going. What's the biggest disagreement on a bottle you've ever had with Horst? That's a very specific question. Disagreement with Horst on a whiskey bottle. Horst and I are very agreeable persons, and I really can't think of a moment. We'd like and join all kind of live tasting videos with tasting kits. It's a perfect chance to try new whiskies and buy the big bottles if you really like it. Yeah, that was the idea between the live tastings. And the thing with the live tastings is the live tastings peaked already, and the sales are not bad, but it's just in kind of viewership, it's always it's bad to say, but you get rewarded of how many people watch the live stream, and if it goes down, you don't feel that good. It's like it's really a what do you call it, an illness. Yeah, so being a YouTuber, you are not immune to this illness of trying to get as many clicks and likes as you can get. It's social media illness, and unfortunately we are not that fond of the live streams because our clicks are going down with that direction. So I don't know. But the thing is, many people watch it afterwards, but it's not as satisfying as having you like right next to you, because this chat where you can just read the thoughts of somebody else is just an amazing kind of technology, and I really like it because it's the way it comes. our live chat is really nice because it's not too slow and not too fast. If I watch like really big YouTubers, it's like you can only see the little emojis they put in, and the rest you cannot read. Unfortunately, I don't watch that many live streams. I suggest Outdoor Whiskey. Outdoor Whiskey. It's short. Give you that. Unfortunately it's not catchy yet. Extreme whiskeying. What is the most expensive whiskey you own? Mine is Johnny Walker Blue Label Golden Rare. Oh, it's just standing over there. No, it's the Artback 25. I just found it. We actually wanted to have a Artback 25 because it's in our sales of December. And the problem is we've misplaced our open bottle. So I went into the cellar from Horst and they said, it should be there somewhere. And then I found a bottle and I just realized it's closed. It's still a fresh bottle and we need to sell that. And we can't just open all the bottles because they are really expensive. I think they are now 1,200 euros. I think they're in our sale. It's not that high, but yeah. So, new question from the team. It's which new format would you like to see on our YouTube channel? I know that's an old question. Yeah, that was the extreme whiskeying, extreme ironing, whiskey. We need to work on that. We'll get that trend going. And your battle videos, Ben versus Horst. Yes, they are. Hey, where's that gone? Somewhere. Well, the versus videos are really nice. Unfortunately, they are also a bit harder to produce. And yeah, we need to put more time into that. Yeah. Artback 25 is expensive. Yeah, it's now at 1,300 and in our sale it's just 998 euros, which is just a bargain. 750 near me. Should I buy? Yes, you should buy and sell it for 1,000. Can you do the passport whiskey review, please? What? The passport whiskey review? What is that? More Scandinavian whiskies. Horst answered the question with the versus videos. I hated the battle videos, but Ben insisted. Yes, because Horst is such a very agreeable person. we all score differently on the big 5 traits, but agreeableness, we are really up. Blind tastings, that is a good suggestion. I think Horst's not gonna love that, but blind tastings are really, really interesting. Yeah, what is also pretty nice is we have decided now kind of the Whisky.com video for the 1st of April. That was a bit of a search, but it's a really, really nice one. And don't want to spoil anything, but I think you're gonna love it. It's gonna be okay, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. It's gonna be a bit of a versus video. 2 points for me for blind tastings. Yeah, definitely 2 points for you. I'd still have to know can you do the passport video review, please? What's the passport video review? Is it like, yeah, strange. Yeah, I wondered at the beginning, how is the 5 Senses Glüh gin, the spiced wine type of gin, how's that cold? And I actually have to say, I like it cold more. I think it even would like to have some ice cubes in it. It just feels like a juice that it has been jazzed up to the maximum with herbs and spices. Yeah, here you have more spices in there as well. Passport is an Indian whiskey, I think. It's just okay, an Indian whiskey. It's probably one of these. Passport. I don't know. Don't wanna. Don't wanna disgrace something. Is it one of these really cheap ones like Three Aces, and the other one I can't remember? The Three Aces was really really bad. I think that was like the worst whiskey I had on the channel. What we need to do is there are two videos we need to make, and that is Tod vor Stalingrad. It's Death in Front of Stalingrad. It's reference to the Second World War. And the other is The Burning Communist. It's kind of, no, not cocktail, drinks. It's a drink. Everything's a drink, but yeah, it's a drink. The Tod vor Stalingrad, Death in Front of Stalingrad, that is the worst drink that I know in the world. By far. It's really, really bad. It's so horrible. I've suggested it to Horst to do the drink, and he, in the German video, it's really old. He has the drink in the end. He puts in a teaspoon, takes the teaspoon, and goes like, "Yeah, okay, let's try a teaspoon first and then a sip," and then takes the teaspoon, puts it in his mouth, and then he's just a, yeah, and that's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. And then he's gone. It's like, you could see in his face, like, this is really bad. And yeah, so we need to do these videos. Yeah. Does the artificial coloring change the taste of the whiskey at all? That is a really, really, really big debate. If you believe in like most of the scientists and the companies and all that kind of stuff, these people, then the answer is no. If you believe in the experts, the malt heads, and they all say yes. And why color? Is it necessary? Yes. For the cheap stuff, yeah, it is necessary. For the more expensive stuff, why? What's the need? Any opinions on 40 ABV whiskies? Are they all watered down? Yes, they are watered down, as in, yeah, they are watered down to drinking strength. But I do like it. 40 ABV is kind of a good ABV. I prefer tend to prefer 43, 46%. The 46% from the Glenfarclas, they are really nice. Really, really nice. Do you practice any method to prepare the platé before testing? If I've eaten something, then usually I drink a lot of water and wait a little bit, but not more. Is there a Kursk version for such a vodka drink? I think I need to do the Death in Front of Stalingrad. I'm not really. Which city is Stalingrad? They have renamed it. There is no city on the map that is called Stalingrad. Which city is it actually? Maybe it's not tactful to do it like right now. I don't know. Beer and whiskey marriage. I think I had a gin and whiskey marriage. It was gin and not gin and whiskey, gin and beer match. It was actually not that bad. Nicholas, I like barrel aged beer. Oh, okay. I think barrel aged beer is not that old. Otherwise, you just lose the fizz, don't you? I think the barrel aged beer is not as fizzy. If I drink beer, I do like the fizziness. if you wouldn't have the fizziness inside the beer, I would probably not drink the beer. IPA, our big nose, Sierra Nevada. Okay. There are a lot of beer drinkers out there, I think. It's called Volograd now. Volograd, but that's in Russia, isn't it? Probably. So, is it okay to do a video like that? Barrel-aged beer is great. Yeah, I guess so. So, I've been through all the whiskeys now. And let's see how the time is. Because I think people are talking to me now a lot, but I don't think you have. What do you think of Emerald Fusion? I think I've done a video about that. I did like the new Fusion. It was quite a nice whiskey. I think, wasn't that the one that? Oh, it's not there anymore. I think it was this summer that I had it. Wasn't it the Fusion that had a little bit of peatiness in there? Or do I confuse it with something? Okay, so I think this is it for this live tasting. If you'd like to have a proper live tasting, then you can have the watch our live tasting on the 26th of December at 1900 Central European Standard Time. That's the German one at 8 p.m. Central European Standard Time. That is the English version if you don't speak any German. So it's like, yeah, second day after Christmas, and that's when you've had all your family dinners and you just chilling on the couch. You just flick on the TV and cast the YouTube on it and have a nice whiskey with us. So we're gonna try the standard range from Glenmorangie. Hopefully you have some at home. That is gonna be really nice. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you there at Whisky.com/live. You can find this next whiskey live tasting and the tastings afterwards. We're gonna put up probably in the next week or two. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.